Righto, welcome back to another video, guys. So if you watch my videos regularly, you would have heard that I've got a track day booked in, and as a part of prep for the track day, I'm going to be installing this. So this is the rear motor mount, rear engine mount, rear gearbox mount, whatever you want to call it, rear roll restrictor from Mountune. And let's take a look at it while it's new. I'll do some side-by-side comparisons when we get the old one out, but the old one shares, it's the same part as the base model Fiestas, so it's quite flimsy and it's more for comfort than anything. So this is what you get in the box. Don't worry about that, Mountune parts under tray, that was the Symposer delete. So you get your little spacer, which is a nice solid piece. You do get a large washer, which goes on the other side of this. And this itself is the rear engine mount. So we've got a nice Mountune logo. I know that goes down, but we'll work this out as we go. It's got power flex bushes in it, so they're not completely solid. You can sort of squish them, but it's nothing like the standard ones are going to be. So first things first, we'll get out to the car, we'll jack it up. Always put jack stands down. Don't get under a car without jack stands, and we'll get the old one out and this one in. Alright, so this is the standard one that we're taking off. So we've got these two bolts, and then the bolts for the actual mount itself. You can't really see, we'll have a closer look when we take it off, but that's quite flimsy and rubbery, and yeah, we'll check it out. Here you go, here's the two side by side, so you can see this one's much more solid. Even the mount, the rubber part itself, shares the standard part. There's quite a bit of movement in that. And this one's, again, it's a solid bush, but it's not like a metal solid bush. So, keen to see the difference. So this is it now, all fitted up. Got our brackets in. We've retained this original bracket as well here. And we've got the Mountune Roll Restrictor in. And that's what it looks like. So you're not going to see it, but we'll take it for a drive and see how it feels driving along and cold start and all that. And we'll do a bit of a review. Alright, so we've got the rear motor mount installed. Let's do a bit of a first impressions test. We didn't do a cold start because it wasn't cold. I'll do that in the morning. But so we'll just take off in first and second and then go for a bit of a drive, and I'll let you know what I think of it. Alright, so that was a little bit different. I haven't noticed any excess engine vibration. In fact, as soon as I turned it on, I just said to the guy who installed it that it just feels exactly the same. There's been no excessive vibration, so it's still just as comfortable as the standard one. But what I just noticed then and now is that shifting gears, it's kind of hard to explain, but until you go from a standard mount to an upgraded one, the other one sort of felt, looking back on it, almost like an elasticy. So it felt like you come off the clutch or you put it in gear and change gears and whatever, and there'd just be a tiny little bit of like a delay, like it was on a spring or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but now it's just like it probably should have been. It's nice. As soon as you put it in gear and come off the clutch, you can feel it more through your foot, that it's in gear and like what the clutch is actually doing, rather than the mount flexing as well. So that's pretty good. You feel like you've got more control over the clutch, especially like first and second if you're taking off for the day or at lights or whatever. But yeah, it's been a pretty good first impression. I was expecting lots of vibration and really not liking it, but the car feels good. The car still feels as comfortable. Not that you can really call Fiestas comfortable, but yeah, it definitely just feels a little bit more solid. There's no sorry, I'm just trying to see with the sun. Yeah, there's like no delay. That elasticy sort of feel's not there, and like I said, it's hard to explain. It's just, if you've done it, you'll probably understand what I mean. You know, there's a lot less flex, and you can just, when you push the clutch in, when you're letting the clutch out and the load's coming onto the gearbox and from the engine, you can actually feel it through the clutch. And yeah, it's just a much more positive feel. But yeah, we'll keep going for a drive. I'm liking this, and I feel better about having it. I'll want to go to the drag strip, Sydney Motorsport Park, so I'm not going to feel as bad changing gears quickly, and again on the track day. And hopefully it's not my first and last track day. I hope to do a couple of track days at least in this, try a few different tracks. But yeah, we'll do the cold start tomorrow. But it's definitely a good upgrade so far. This is the Mountune one, as you know, but some of the others have a different feel to them. Go with what's good for you. But I like comfort, but I also like something better than a standard base model Fiesta, which these share their mounts with. Alright, so it's the next day. We'll do a cold start test and we'll see if there's any excess vibration. The dash cam starts automatically, so if it goes off, I'll just let it do its thing and then I'll talk after. Initial thoughts is that it's no different to the standard mount. There's nothing excessive through the steering wheel or the seat, handbrake. There's less through the gearbox. Yeah, it's good. I was expecting, like yesterday, a lot more vibration and, you know, discomfort, but it's very much like a standard one, so that's good. Happy with that. I guess the mod in general, I mean, it's kind of frustrating in a way that you have to pay to get this sort of fuel, because this is the sort of fuel that you'd expect from a standard one. So yeah, there's no difference comfort wise from standard, so that's good, and you get a bit of a performance gain when changing gears. I guess it's obvious now that I didn't film the actual fitting of the mount. To be honest, Mitch, who helped me, thank you Mitch, it took him all of 15 minutes. It took him longer to jack the car up than to do it. I guess if you're going to do this at home, there are a couple of good videos out there already. Mountune themselves do one, Mountune UK. And they say the torque specs on the actual mount, the 2 bolts on the mount, are, I've written it down, 48 Newton meters. And the rest of them you just need to tighten up as much as you can with your hand. But you also need a 13mm deep socket, and that's because one of the brackets, you undo a bolt and then that reveals another bolt head about halfway down the thread, so you've got to get over that. But otherwise it looks fairly easy. Check out Mountune's video on how to. I figured you didn't need to watch another video of someone undoing some bolts. But yeah, all in all, pretty happy with it. Next step is track and maybe drags, and just make sure that it's doing its job and shifts gears nicely and the engine doesn't smack the heat shields on the firewall. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Cheers.